And we're live. Hello, everybody. So, to
Hello.
anybody who has not seen these before, um, this is potentially our last session of the season for Extraordinary. We'll have to see what happens. These guys could throw
Oh,
me for a loop. Um, but, oh,
we're pretty
goodness.
wild, aren't we?
Forgot to turn that down.
What?
All right. So, uh, this whole role playing series is a fan made RPG system and story regarding based on the webtoon Unordinary, which, if you haven't read it, highly recommend it. It's a fantastic comic. And I am currently running through a butchered sort of future speculation of that world with my good friends Vern,
Hi.
Salty,
Halloween.
and Nil.
Yeah.
What a bee.
Yeah. Uh, so each one of them is playing their own little, essentially superpowered teenager. Basically, if I had to, if you're, too, uh, if you're too interested in what's going on here to check out Unordinary real quick, basically imagine My Hero Academia, but fascist. And that's more or less Unordinary. These characters are in a fascist government based on the hierarchy of ability levels, or how strong their powers are. Um, in this hierarchy, Vern is playing Susie Wally, a character with essentially lightning abilities, though there's some intricacies there.
Woolly. It's woolly.
Wooly, sorry. Um, Salty plays Jodie Kalich, a character with some smoke abilities, who originally was quite weak with them, but due to some special drug abuse, she has gotten a lot stronger. And lastly, Ryoma Hart, who has always been the best and the coolest, and basically has telekinesis with extra steps. Yeah. It's been a fun ride. I highly recommend you watch through the series if you're just starting now. If you're not, welcome back. So, who would like to recap what happened last week?
Come on, anyone want to do it?
We literally had this
Vern
conversation.
does.
I know. I know. They've already volunteered me for it before we even started. I want you to know that, Jordan.
Nice.
This shit is unfair. All right. So, what happened last time? First things first, we found out, we heard a news thing where Dr. Seed was being like, oh yeah, it could be Amber, but it could not be, it's some other shit you probably know. There's also probably, a kid just, learning new power. And then everyone was like, oh damn, that's crazy. And, one second, let me get this out of my mouth.
And this is
Okay.
regarding the air quote accident you all were in the session previously.
Accident. Yeah. Okay, what happened next? Ryoma called Susie because he was being depressed and he was like, I want to go see my brother. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll go with you. And he was like, no, I don't want to see you. And she was like, oh, wow, I'm emotionally damaged right now because of what you just said. So I'm going to go on a temper tantrum, but like very quietly about it. And he went to go see his brother and they had like a really heart to heart. Then we come back to Susie. Susie then goes over to Jodie and says, oh no, wait, something else happened. But Susie is heading back to her room and she's like, damn, that's crazy. I'm gonna leave the school. And then Dr. Seed is there and Dr. Seed's like, hey, you're still being a good girl, right? And she's like, yeah, totally. Not planning to take down the Bureau or anything. Terrorism. And Then she runs off to find Jody. She tells Jody, "You should go home for a few days. It's not safe here." And Jody's like, "Oh, okay. That's probably a good idea. Understood." So she goes home. But then Jody that night ends up having some crazy shit happen to her. Or was it that night? I think it was that night. No, it was later that night. But before that, uh she meets up with Ryoma, and Ryoma's like, "I upset Susie." And she was like, "What the fuck do you mean you upset Susie?" And then they went to Susie's house and they had a heart to heart with Susie, and they kind of sorted everything out. And Susie said, "I don't really forgive you yet, but we'll get there." Then we cut to Jody that night, and she had to fight a guy in the middle of the alleyway as a vigilante bullshit when she's not supposed to, because her parents got cornered by some dude that wanted money from them. And Susie gave Ryoma a kiss on the cheek, and they went to bed, and that's all I remember. Did I get everything?
No, but it's cool. So Jody.
I'm doing my best.
I know.
I have a lot I've been doing the last few days.
Listen. You tried. I doubt the other two.
trying.
I doubt the other two even tried.
Nope.
If
Nope.
they
I literally before the session started, like, what the fuck happened?
yeah, if
That's
you
what I was like, oh.
if you guys had tried, you would have corrected her. You didn't. So you get to suffer for this. Jody,
What?
Yes.
we cut to you on a rooftop smoking a cigarette. Do you remember
that's
why?
right. Yes. My parents was leaving the house super late at night, and I followed because I was a little confused. And then they met up with this guy who was a part of, was it a gang? Or it was like a terrorist group or something?
No.
But basically, no. What was it again? I forgot.
What did that guy want from them?
They went to him because they were confused about my sudden growth and blaming him and his whole gang shit for it. Since they're like the ones who kind of run around this area. And so the guy got angry at them for blaming him. And so I stepped in before anyone got hurt, and now I left because I'm angry at them.
Why are you angry at them?
And because I was always told to kind of keep my head down and not get in trouble, but they're doing like insanely bad shit.
And what is the insanely bad shit they are doing?
They are giving. That's right. They were giving equipment and like pills and stuff like that for the special drugs that the
Specifically pills.
whole gang's making. Yeah.
Just pills, and it's not a gang, it's just him.
Just him. Oh, okay. It's been a while since we did this. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you're on this rooftop. You take a break. About how long do you think you would be up there before you're ready to talk to your parents again?
So when this happened at like 1 a.m, right?
3.
Around that time.
3
3 in the morning. Oh fuck. I'd say around sunrise, probably.
Okay. Then in that case, we open on the sun rising as we see Jody's silhouette up against it, staring off into the distance. She sighs, turns around, and floats down on a small smoke cloud, ready to deal with whatever the fuck the day has in store for her. Elsewhere, Susie, Ryoma, I believe you guys were having a sleepover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Entirely platonic. No touching
Okay.
allowed. Adult
It didn't-
sleepovers.
Yes.
They didn't. She gave him a kiss before they went. A kiss on the cheek before they went to bed, and Ryoma rolled for it and was awake for it. So he does know that she did that,
No
but she doesn't know that he knows that she did that.
cuddling. We know it gets out of hand. We know it
They
gets out of
put their
hand.
backs to their backs. Oh my fucking
No,
god! Her
I know.
parents know that she
I'm-
wouldn't.
I'm well
Their
aware.
hands might have touched a little.
I'm well aware. Don't
Wait,
worry.
What?
Their hands might have touched a little.
Ayo. Ryoma.
I hate all of you.
Hold on a minute. Did you really? Did their hands touch?
I don't fucking know the words.
Ryoma, you whore.
Oh my
Whore.
god.
Ryoma, ho for real. Anyways, so yeah, we have a sleepover.
Yes. So
What day of the week is it?
I always forget that this is important to you.
This is very important for my character. Because she has a job on the side, remember?
Do you not just
I would-
bitch? Weird.
No. She has a job and she goes training on certain days of the week.
you never actually brought up the job.
And she works at like a convenience store somewhere. Or a grocery store, I'm not sure.
Okay, but many times I've started this session on a weekday and you've never actually gone to work. So,
And she works on the weekends.
Get fired.
alright, then fuck it. It's a Saturday.
Alright. Alright, then she gets up in the morning, she's gonna go do a job then, probably. Because Ryoma usually leaves by this point. So she's gonna go to work. Oh, he probably doesn't even know she has a job, huh?
Probably not. This doesn't come up much.
Oh, yeah, no. Alright, her alarm goes off at like 8 a.m. and she gets up.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
Illegal. No one's awake at 8 a.m.
You're the one who wakes up at like 5 in the morning for work, aren't
What are
you?
you talking about me?
Uh,
I
we're
fucking
not-
hate Nil.
Okay,
I
we're
don't
not-
know
go
why.
ahead.
This is
Jesus Christ.
this is in character, is it not?
Is it? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Alright,
Holy
no, she
shit.
gets up at 8 a.m. I fucking
Continue.
Please, I'm sorry. I'm trying-
Continue. Ignore
Sorry.
me.
I can't. I can't. I genuinely can't.
You woke up at 8 a.m. Then Ryoma
Okay.
said, 8 a.m., this is illegal. Go.
Okay. Ryoma actually says that in character?
Yes. Why the fuck am
Okay.
I awake at this point?
Okay. She looks over at him and says, "Oh, you are still here."
Yeah. It's 8 a.m. People don't exist at this time.
No, you've left before 8 a.m. before.
Yeah, and I wasn't existent.
She just stares at him for a minute and says, "Okay, well, I've got stuff to do, so I
Oh,
have
what
to
do we
be
do?
up. So we're not doing anything. I have to go.
Where are we going?
I'm going to work. You can't come with me."
He looks generally perplexed. What?
I
Why?
work on the weekends, like every other weekend.
Oh. Well, who am I gonna bother then?
I don't know, my parents, I guess?
Oh.
Like, money doesn't just come out of thin air, Ryoma.
Well, I know that. I'm not that dumb. I'm not one of those kids.
Sure you're not.
Well, I'm gonna pretend like I'm not offended by that. Well, I guess he gets ready and waits for her to go to leave, because he's just gonna leave with her. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna go bother today.
Is he gonna follow her at work?
No,
I
he's
mean,
gonna
he
go
could, I
bother someone
guess.
else.
At
He already
her work.
bothers the guy at the convenience store.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
All right. Whew. So,
Sorry.
you you go to work.
Yeah.
We'll say that you work at like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
Um,
like his other friend, the one that works near the school. What's his fucking name?
Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah.
You work at a different one because your house is
Yeah.
real far away from the school.
That is true.
But it does give you employee discount of like, I don't know, fucking 5% or something, which I'm sure Nil, or rather, Ryoma has abused the fuck out of by this point.
Well, most likely.
So, you head to work. Where does Ryoma go?
He probably travels like 80% of the distance with Susie, and then just stops and goes, "Well, I'll see you later," and then just turns down a random wherever they are and starts walking, and then he probably sits somewhere and debates. He doesn't have many friends, but doesn't want to be
Yeah,
alone.
no shit.
So he's gonna call the
Aw.
one person who he knows he could bully into seeing him. He's gonna call Jody.
Okay. So we get this quick scene of Susie showing up to work, getting her, attire set, getting her name tag on, and going out and doing her thing. From there, we cut to Jody. It's a little bit after sunrise for her, so this would have been like maybe an hour or two ago.
Mhm.
Are you gonna head straight to see your parents right now, or are you going to do something else?
Uh, Hold on. Give me a moment. I'm going to flip a coin on that because it would be a bit of a 50-50 for her.
Mm-hmm.
She would probably go home
Okay. Cool.
to talk to her family because
You
dealing with
head.
Ryoma and his shit would probably make her more frustrated.
Well, you're not getting texted by him yet, anyway.
Yeah.
So you head home. By the time you walk through the front door, your mother and father are huddled together on the couch, exhausted and asleep. They probably crashed sometime, maybe an hour or two after they got home. Were likely waiting for you, worried out of their damn minds. What do you do?
Okay. Seeing that they're asleep, she would probably, yeah, she would take a deep breath to kind of calm herself down, knowing that they do care about her, and getting a little less angry, seeing that they were worried. Degree, and so she would probably write a note and like place it somewhere where they could see, just saying that I made it home fine. Talk about it later, and she's going to go up to her room. She's
Okay.
also probably
Cool.
tired.
The hours pass. I don't know if Jody would actually be able to fall asleep with all of the different thoughts running through her head. But maybe like an hour or two later, as she's lying down, she gets a text from Ryoma. What is this text, Ryoma?
It's just like, hey, with a lot of question marks, and then it's just, are you busy currently?
Oh my god.
It's up to you whether
Because
she even reads this.
yeah.
She would read it. She would be like laying on her side. You know, the lazy flip of her phone as she looks at it. And then with one hand she'd type, no, why?
Amazing. Finger gun gif.
I am choosing to envision
What are
that
you
as the
planning?
words finger gun gif.
Yeah. He then begins commuting to her house without asking.
Oh my god.
Okay.
They expect. So I'll see you soon.
Motherfucker, what? She would
I was like, respond to that.
type that.
Ryoma just invades people's houses.
He does.
First, second, or third
Yeah,
time he's
he-
done
For that to bite him in the
You know,
ass.
I'm beginning to understand why Susie likes him.
Oh
What does that
wow.
mean?
He invades
What the fuck does that mean?
he invades people's houses. She invades people's houses. They have a lot to talk about.
She doesn't anymore.
Oh wow.
I hate
fucked
all
up,
of
Jay.
you.
So, cool. So Ryoma does that. We check back into Susie at work. So the good thing about a job like this is most of the day you're either alone or you have like one other person to hang out with. So nobody really gives a shit if you're on your phone a lot. Would Susie actually pay much attention in this job? Also, never mind.
What?
Would she pay attention during this job?
Oh. I mean, not that much. Honestly, there's not that much that she has to do, so
Okay. Um. Hmm. Debating. Yeah, okay. Um, so hmm. Yeah. Susie is, you know, messing around doing like vaguely putting things back, I guess. But mostly
oh no,
just
she like gets everything done pretty quickly. I mean, she's a speedster,
right, okay.
so she spends most of the time just chilling.
Yeah. All right, so you do
It's not a
the
very busy store either.
right, morning cleanup. And are just kind of chilling on your phone, doing whatever it is you need to do. When
She's
you
gotta burn 8 hours, you know.
when you hear the doorbell ting 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 clink.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, I was hoping to see what kind of magazines you guys have.
She's gonna look up from her she has her phone hidden behind the cash register and she looks up to see who it is.
So the face would be vaguely familiar, but you can't
Oh,
recall
no.
exactly where you've seen him before.
Oh no. That's never a
what do
good
I
sign
want?
with Basil in charge.
What do I want to have you roll for this? You know what? This'll be funny. Roll a history check.
You're an asshole.
I know. Nice. Okay, yeah.
Never mind. I'm fine.
You look up, you blink, and your thoughts go back to that day in the mall when there was a guy hoping to check your ability level,
Oh, okay, different guy. Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh,
but it was exactly the same day as the whole mall fiasco happened.
bro. A little bit of PTSD there. Not that much though, thankfully.
Hmm.
So she'll like stare at him for a few seconds and be like, "You're that dude from the mall."
Oh, you passed my stand. Yeah, uh got in a little bit of trouble for that one. I'd appreciate it if you don't spread that around.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Goes back to her
unregistered.
phone.
Um, the magazines?
Oh, right over there.
Thanks. He goes off and starts looking them over. Uh, let me go ahead and just... Hang on. Okay. Yeah. For a little bit, you just go back to your phone occasionally, looking back over at him. He's by those magazines for a minute. Seems to really be trying to decide which one to have.
At some point, she's gonna put her phone down and watch him, like out of the corner of her eye.
Okay.
Make sure he's not trying to steal anything, you know?
Right. Yeah. He doesn't put anything in his pockets or anything. You notice that his left arm is just a little bit higher than his right. Like he's actively holding it up. And you do see something like a watch on it.
I'm sorry, a watch?
Yeah, it's like a wristband sort of thing. Doesn't seem to have any kind of clock hands or anything, but maybe it's digital? It's kind of hard to see from this angle.
Is he like looking at it?
He's definitely looking down, but he could be looking at the magazine titles. He could be looking at the watch. You're not really sure.
Alright. She's gonna come out from around the counter and be like, "So, having a hard time picking?"
Huh? Oh, what? Oh, yeah. My brother's a big sports nut, and I'm just trying to make sure I get the most accuracies. Um, most of the magazines you have currently are floral arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say that last part.
Oh,
I'm clarifying that for you.
Brother sucks.
well, if you want a sports magazine, you're in the wrong place. I would try the convenience store down the street, probably.
Oh, really? Thanks. I'll
Unless you consider flowers to be really sportsmanlike.
No, no, I think I'll give that a try. Um, you know, I do have to real quick, I do want to say this is about as convincing as you guys have been.
I'm sorry, what?
He steps a little closer with a like genuine smile on his face and just says, "Well, let's be real here. You start talking to some random kid from the chess club you never bothered to listen to before, and then you expect everything to go back to normal like nobody ever noticed anything was strange. You managed to get the queen of your school involved in some real shady shit, and you expect that nobody outside noticed? I mean, Maudlin's not exactly the most prestigious school around, but you guys have a big rep, and there's a lot of people keeping eyes on you. Now, I would, try to be a little bit more careful, especially going around saying, making big promises you probably can't keep.
Kill him.
Salty, did you just fucking say kill him?
No, RP gamer.
Susie kind of stares at the magazines for a minute, slowly turning her eyes towards him and says, "Is that a threat?"
It's just a warning. Not from me, though, from my boss, You guys managed to...
Who
No,
is that?
Well, let's see. It could be somebody from one of the other cells of Spectre. After all, you guys have been getting a little bit more involved with those guys ever since Simon told you the deets regarding Dr. Seed. It could be Dr. Seed herself. That's entirely possible. I mean, the Bureau has fingers and eyes everywhere. But I think the important question you should be asking yourself is, if you have to ask, which means you don't already know, are you really qualified to be dealing with this kind of stuff? We're not going to make any more waves in your life if you don't make any more waves in ours. And I recommend you take that as something said from just about everybody.
Get out of my store.
Oh, you own it now? Well, then, I guess I don't really have much to worry about. He starts stepping toward the entrance and says, "Oh, and by the way, you'll definitely want to pass that message on to your friends. Especially that marksman guy. He's been way over his head." And he's gonna step out. You hear the bell ding 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 as the door closes.
As soon as the door closes all the way, she stands there for a second and then goes back over to the counter, pulls out her phone, messages her boss and says, "I need to take the day off."
I know I'm already working, sir, but I'm calling out.
Basically. I mean, I imagine she's pretty chill with her boss. She's a good kid. She doesn't get into trouble anymore.
Well, fair enough.
And she's a high tier.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
I mean, and she keeps trouble out of the neighborhood, so I mean, no one's gonna rob a store with a high tier working there.
Right. So, we cut to Ryoma. You arrive at Jody's place.
He stands outside, smiles because he's not going to be alone today. At least that's how his thought is. He strolls up to the front and just gives it a firm knock.
You hear a soft and a sudden as someone is. Oh, were you able to hear me tip tapping on my desk?
Yes, I heard. I
Cool.
heard that actually pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. As someone rushes to the door, you see an eye peering through the the socket, the peephole, and hear the door pull back ajar. There is a chain lock on it. As you hear a man's voice whispering, "Who are you? Who sent you?"
There's a small pause as he blinks, as he really debates trying to do a bit. And then he shrugs and goes, "I'm Ryoma. Who sent me? I want to say God. I'm here to hang out with your daughter."
Can I hear like the door's knocked on and
Yeah,
stuff?
you hear some faint sounds from downstairs, Jody.
Ryoma's also not quiet.
Can I am I able to like open my window and peek out?
Yeah, sure. You peek out your window and you see Ryoma standing there making jokes at your dad through the door. And before you
Yeah,
say
I'll-
anything, Jody, Dad's gonna have a reaction first.
Oh no.
he's going to say, "You people stay the hell away from my daughter," and close the door shut. You hear a lot more movement downstairs, Jody.
Oh my god. I'm gonna pinch the bridge of my nose and kind of like lean against the frame of my window and be like, "You really should have warned me first." Yeah, down to him.
He pauses and just like stares at the slammed door, and he looks up and goes, "I didn't even do anything that wrong. I should have said everything I was gonna say. I held back, you know."
Yeah, that probably would have scared them more.
He then just lifts himself to her window because he's an asshole.
Right now, they're basically a chihuahua in a thunderstorm.
He just lifts himself up and just like floats outside. So I did say I was coming. I said I would see you soon.
Yeah, well, you gotta be more specific than that, man.
Well, but if I was more specific than that, you would have told me not to come.
Yeah, I could have discussed a time to meet with you somewhere else.
Yeah, but this way we're meeting now.
Okay,
Susie had to go to work, and I was all alone.
you could have said that, man.
Well, I mean, I figured that you would prefer me not alone because apparently you guys think I'm gonna get in some big trouble if I'm alone.
The front door opens, by the way, and Jody, your dad comes back out with like a metal baseball bat in his hands, looking like ready to swing. Your mom is following closely behind, looking scared.
He looks down and goes,
Jesus Christ.
Should I go down and talk to them? Will it freak them out that I'm floating at the window talking to you?
Are you being at all quiet during this, Ryoma?
Regular tone.
Cool. They whirl around immediately and are just like staring at you and then staring at Jody. And they're like, "Jody, get the hell away from my daughter!"
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. I'm gonna yell out to him. Remember how I told you yesterday that I made friends? Well, here's friend B.
Wait, what? I'm B?
I met you second.
Oh.
What? Oh. Jody, you scared the crap out of me.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's Jody's fault. I like this.
It's this guy's fault for having pudding for brain and not mentioning that he's coming over.
Pudding sounds so good.
Shut up.
I fucking hate Rio so much.
The
I
dad
wanna
just
know.
lets the bat fall to the ground and drags it back inside, just shaking his head like it's been such a long day. He doesn't say that.
All
That's
right.
the expression he has.
Yeah.
Ryoma, because he doesn't know what personal space is, leans in a little. Hey, um, am I missing several things right now?
The novel's worse, buddy. Just wait down there for a bit, and I'll come down. I gotta calm them down first. Then we can go get pudding.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna
And it
like
just floats down and
reach
just
over and like pat his head as he's floating down, and then go ahead and go to my door.
Okay, yeah. So you go head back into your room, head downstairs to where your parents are. They sit down on the couch looking just like done with everything.
You calm now?
Oh, no. I don't think we are. Just don't have the energy to. Well, he gestures to the metal bat that is now on the floor next to him.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure who you were expecting, but I'm sure we can discuss that later. I'm gonna go out with my friend. I won't be in danger. Don't worry. He's literally twice as strong as me. And when I come home, I'll I'll have something to say to you about all that.
Your father and your mother both look at each other with notably more worried expressions when you say he's about twice as strong as you. But they don't say anything, they don't chastise you, and they don't try to talk you out of it. They just nod and say, "Have a good time, sweetie."
She'll give a nod and go to the front door, but before she opens it, she'll like kind of stop herself and like if anything does happen, I'll let you know. Okay, I love you guys. And she'll before they can reply, she'll open.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, uh, what does Jody say to Ryoma, or what does Ryoma say to Jody? Y'all have the floor.
Once Jody gets outside, he's just like awkwardly sitting on the sidewalk. Once he hears the door, he just says without turning around, "Why are they so on edge?" I get that like a random guy showing up at their daughter's house is weird. I understood that with Susie, but they threatened me and act like they're being chased by the mob.
Well, let's walk and talk, man. And you'll notice Susie or not Susie, Jody looks like shit. Absolutely. Got bags under her eyes, her hair frizzy and shit, and like she's like barely wearing her jacket. It's like hanging off her shoulder basically.
So
Jesus.
they walk for a bit. After a couple steps, he just kind of reaches over and like fixes her jacket a little. Sighs. You know, if you're ever in trouble, you can just call me, right?
It wasn't trouble. It was more me helping those two were in trouble.
Well, you care about them, I care about you, so I care about them.
Mm-hmm. I
Just
was a
saying.
bit quick to call you up, but yeah. So basically, the summit. Do you want the long of it or the short of it?
He shrugs. Give me the long if that's what you need to get out. If not, just tell it to me straight. Or I guess if you don't want to talk about it at all, we won't. We'll just pretend like it didn't happen.
It's nothing really to hide. Well, the short of it is that they left. Or well, no. How do I put it? They learned about my position at school. They didn't know about that for a long time. They still thought I was in the lower regions, you know.
Yeah.
And they learned about it, so they talked to me about it, and it heated up in an argument for a bit, but then it became better. And then all that, and then in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, I decided to leave the house to go talk to some guy. I followed because that's weird and suspicious, right?
Very.
And so I followed, and they met this guy in an alley who they were blaming him for my increase in ability. And
Huh.
that guy got angry at them and really started to threaten and even hurt my dad. So I stepped in and really fucked that guy up.
He stops and like there's worry in his eyes, and then this like horrible smile. He's like, "Yeah, beat the shit out of him. Nice."
Yeah, you would think. I don't know what kind of repercussions will happen because of that, but
Oh no, a weird sleazy guy in a dark alley tells the police that a small girl beat him up.
well, I'm more concerned about the details because they talked about it, and I was listening into them talking down there.
From what I know,
And
there's more.
yeah, it seems like from what I was hearing, my family is selling pills to this guy, and they don't understand why or what kind. But frankly, I'm too disappointed and angry to really talk about it to him right now. And that all happened like 6 hours ago. So you came in at a very tender moment.
I see. Maybe I should warn you guys when I decide to pop up.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Well, I don't know. It gives you less time to tell me no.
It won't. It's kind of fucked up too, in its own way.
He laughs a little. Yeah. Before you guys, I had T and Rachel who hate me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just kind of force myself into those situations. I'll get used to having friends at some point. So back to this definitely not drug dealer. Is he like... He leans in close. Was he breathing?
Okay, yes, I didn't kill him.
Oh.
I know better than to kill him. I threatened to. That makes you feel better. But no, I didn't kill him.
Okay, well, that's good at least. Don't need you changing forever, you know? Thinking that like, oh no, I killed someone.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't take that step unless I absolutely need to.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll never know how I'd react until it actually happens, huh?
Well, let's hope you never have to take a life.
Yeah, that's the hope of it. Based on the shit we've been doing recently, that might happen sooner than I want it to, though.
I've always wondered what I would be like if I did.
I can't say it'd be a good thing for your conscience.
The scary thing is, I don't think it'd affect me that much.
Says the man who broke down over taking someone's leg off.
That was my bro.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never find out. Okay? Like pat his shoulder.
He smiles. I mean, I don't intend on killing anybody, but like, you know, when you get strong, that idea pops into your head of what happens if I accidentally go too far.
God.
Anyways, ice cream.
I thought we were getting pudding.
We're getting both.
Are you paying?
Yeah. Well, my dad is.
Alright, then we're getting ice cream and pudding. Let's go.
Cool. So while Jody and Ryoma are going to get ice cream and pudding, Susie, you get somebody to cover you. They actually they pulled Jeff from
Oh, I
the
didn't
others.
mute my mic.
Oh, well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
we didn't hear anything, so it's good.
Okay, cool.
They pulled Jeff from the other 7-Eleven since they had an extra person there today. And he
Poor
shows
motherfucker.
up at your store and he's like, "Oh, hey. You're that douchebag's friend, right?"
What did you just say to me?
That was fucking rude. He's correct, but it's rude.
What was his name? He starts with an R. The guy who keeps talking to me like we're best bros.
Her eye twitches a little bit, but she nods and says, "He's not a douchebag. He's just a dumbass."
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I know some people like that actually. Dumbass then.
He's not good. He's not good with people.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, I'll go ahead and cover you so you can get back to your date.
Date? What?
I mean, he as he's walking behind the counter, checking everything, making sure it's similar enough to his old store that he can pick it up. I mean, you are going to see him, right?
She holds up a finger to clarify. We're not dating.
Sure.
She's not gonna say anything else. She's just gonna leave. She's just gonna leave.
Have a nice day. As the door ting ting ting.
Fuck, that sounds a lot like Jody. The shit
As
Jody
soon as
says, sure.
She's picking it up from somewhere.
Yep.
So she heads out of the store. As soon as she steps out of the store and starts heading home.
Okay.
And pulls out her phone and calls Jody.
All right.
Oh, brother.
Fucking.
So, which one would you guys have gotten first? The ice cream or the pudding?
Pudding first, because it was the first thing that we listed. We have to go in order or I'll cry.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Well,
So-
I would say ice cream first, but then he would say he would cry, and then we would go for pudding.
You guys walk
Uh,
past the ice cream parlor to go to a grocery store that sells these little cups of flan pudding.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
You get
Nice.
those cups, and then you head to the ice cream parlor. While you're in line at the ice cream parlor, the guy there, he has this whole power that's based around ice, so he just gets different, fully liquid creams and flavoring stuffs, and he just freezes them into these little fluffy
Dude, that is
scoops
so
and stuff.
fucking cool.
Yeah. It's a whole performance act. Hang on, let me.
It's like the Korean barbecue where they cook the food right in front of you and do cool
Dude,
tricks.
that's so fucking cool. Anyways.
Yeah. It's Barry's parlor. He's famous around here. So you're in line there watching him work until Jody gets a call from Susie.
Oh. She's gonna like lean in towards Ryoma, like, "Hey, order me a chocolate," and then she'll answer, like, "Hello."
Hey, Jody, are you busy right now?
Oh, not exactly. What's up?
Awesome. Where are you?
We're at Barry's parlor.
All right, cool. I'll be there in a bit.
No, I do want to let you know your boyfriend is here.
My what?
Real.
We're not dating.
Well, even if you're not dating, you should know better than to leave his ass alone. He'll come crawling to me.
I have a job. I didn't have a choice.
I'm sure he could loiter.
I did say he could. No, she said he couldn't, huh? She said, "Don't follow me to work."
Yeah, that's what she
Fucking
said.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember this vividly. She said exactly those words.
She said, "Don't fucking follow me to work, you shithead."
Well, yeah, we're at Barry's parlor.
Awesome. I'll be there in a minute.
Oh, you should.
But it was not a minute. No, it's okay. I have money.
Well, I mean, but like, we already got the pudding, so that's out of the question.
I'll just get pudding then.
Like, there's no pudding at Barry's parlor.
What do you mean?
Ice cream place.
Susie, like, you hear her audibly facepalm through the mic and be like, "I'm hanging out now."
Alright. And she'll do fake kisses and then end the call.
What the fuck?
The second she walks back over to Ryoma, he just looks, goes, "You don't talk to me like that on the phone."
Well, why the fuck would I?
I didn't know you and Susie were. I didn't know you and whoever you were talking to were such good friends.
Well, it's Susie, obviously.
Oh, that's understandable then.
That's
Friend
his
A gets the special
reaction.
treatment as I bump into.
Wait, why did she call you, not me? I am offended.
No, fucking no.
All
Did you
right.
get me my chocolate ice cream yet?
Yeah,
Are we still in line?
I'm probably still online, to be fair. You were
Yeah.
like 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, you're definitely still in line. There's a few people still left. By the time you get to the front, Susie has arrived.
Awesome.
And she just like joins you in line.
She's still in her work clothes.
Well-
She's taken on. She still has her fucking name badge on.
Oh yeah, damn.
She didn't even like consider.
Right,
She's got a lot in her head right now.
that's her. So you show up wearing like jeans and a t-shirt with a 7-Eleven logo and a name tag.
Mm-hmm. And a paranoid expression, as usual.
Yeah.
For all my fucking characters, because Basil won't give me a break.
Not allowed. So
Imagine.
you you join the line. A couple people look at you for a second, but then like just dismiss it. And Barry Barry's like swirling stuff around. He says, "And what would you three like, darlings?"
Chocolate.
Oh,
Strawberry.
Well, now I feel like I'd have to get vanilla.
there we go,
Yeah.
Neapolitan special. Give me just a second, dolls. And he turns around and starts mixing stuff up.
I hate that I worked with this guy before.
What?
I worked with a guy named Barry, who everything he did was overly dramatic, and it's weird that he exists in a game.
What the
That's
fuck,
amazing.
Mel?
I think I'm gonna go text him, actually. See
Dude,
what he's doing.
text that guy. I miss him.
So,
I fucking cannot.
Mhm.
Barry gets to work on your ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Susie. Want to bring people up to speed?
So while they're in line, so she walks up to them, orders the ice cream with them, and then looks at them and says, "So, some interesting stuff happened while I was at work today."
Oh yeah, is that why you look like you got hit by a bus?
Do I
What?
have to hit somebody with a bus?
To be fair,
What? No,
Susie,
maybe.
Jody looks worse.
Oh, by
Fair.
a mile.
She's gonna look at Jody and be like, "Did you even take a shower last night, hon? Are you okay?"
Damn. I'm gonna start with an insult.
Now,
That's an
Hans,
insult,
no
I
need
was
for
just-
that.
I don't look
No. She's like, "No, I'm genuinely concerned. Last time I saw her, well, we."
Okay, first off, I'm
Barry
insulted.
raises like a finger to his lips, and he's just like, "Shh, let the cream smooth your worries away," as he holds out like a little box with like 3 different like waffle cones in it that each have, you know, your preferred special, and holds it out to you guys.
Can I, while they're doing that whole show, I'm like standing behind the two, and I'm like, I don't look that bad, right? And I'm like, lift my jacket and sniff, and then like,
Barry does actually lean in just a little bit closer and say, "Yeah, honey, I don't want to be rude, but you could use a little perfume."
oh man.
It's okay.
Susie will like reach into. Does Susie have a purse? Susie doesn't have a purse, does she? No, she doesn't use a purse.
I mean, she's wearing jeans, and I feel like she's
Yeah,
the kind of
wearing
person
jeans.
who would wear like male's jeans, so she actually has pockets.
Oh yeah, she does. She would definitely wear men's jeans. So they have pockets. So she reaches into her pocket, pulls out this tiny little thing of like body spray and says, "Here." And also a little mini deodorant because she does a lot of running. Also this.
This friend group of, we're just gonna say horror. We're gonna be like, we love you. By the way, you goddamn smell.
Yeah. So y'all turn away. You start walking
Look like you
away
got
with
into
your
a fight. What happens?
yeah, that.
No.
Go for it.
Yeah, she says, "You look like you got into a fight. What the hell happened?" As they're like leaving with their ice cream.
I mean, technically. Yeah, but yours seemed more important. What were you want to talk about? You got distracted by how horrendous I look.
Well, you should find a quiet place to talk.
That was one of
You
them.
head out of the ice cream parlor.
Yeah,
You go onto the
getting
street.
fuck out of here. We got shit to talk about.
Yep.
We should not talk about this in public.
Yep. And so we'll, I don't know, will we go down like an alley or something?
Yeah, where are you gonna go?
I don't fucking know. I thought that those two would have like an idea or something.
I mean, probably just walk down the street.
Probably.
Yeah. So
So they'll walk down the street and she'll just keep her voice down.
yeah. All right. Let the conversations commence.
So Susie will catch them up on what happened. Say that guy that ran that booth at the mall the other day that read all of our fucking power levels.
You didn't read mine.
Oh, that read me and Jody's power levels. Well, he came into my store today while I was at work.
Neat.
I thought it was kind of
Okay,
interesting. I made a
cool.
comment about it, and then he said, you should be more careful about what you're doing, and that my boss wants you to stop poking your nose around and shit. And I said, I told him to get the fuck out of my store. So yeah.
More careful about what specifically.
The things we've been doing.
You mean everything that we've been doing?
Uh-huh.
Or just one thing?
Well, I mean, she looks at Jody, like stares at her.
Hey, listen, we've done multiple legally conflicting things,
Yeah, I
It's
know
only illegal
all
if
of
you're
that.
hot.
okay?
All
Oh,
of that. And I don't
you-
know who his boss is. I haven't figured it out. I'm actually really scared right now, guys. I don't know how I can convey that.
as Rama says that, Joey would give him the side eye, like, bitch, what the fuck? And then we'll go back to talking.
What did fucking Ryoma say?
Concern with Susie.
What did Ryoma fucking say?
It's not illegal if you're hot.
It's only illegal if
No,
you're
no, he
caught.
said only if yeah.
Or if you're caught.
And-
Like,
yeah, I know that.
technically, we were caught.
Technically, yeah. So I don't know if he's working with Dr. Seed. I don't know if he's working with. Oh, I should probably tell you about that. Oh, Seed's been poking around our school. That's why I told you to leave.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so that happened.
So that's why you're
What
quick
did
to get out
fucking
of there.
Seed say to me, by the way, Basil? She said something important, and my brain is just not finding it. Basil?
I'm not. I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Hello.
She said something about me. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, I mean, she said that she's glad to see you're improving, and that
Uh-huh.
she believes in, she believes that you can become ace and do what you want to do, that you're like
Yeah.
her greatest success and all that.
All right.
Was the important, like the really important part of the conversation before you joined the conversation with them?
Oh yeah.
She was talking to the
The
head.
principal.
Yeah, she was talking to the principal, about suspicious activity at the school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she'll also mention that they're watching the Queen too, because they know she was there with us.
Yeah.
Right. We're getting so much attention. Should we keep our head down, like on the down low?
Probably. Probably keep our heads down for a little bit.
Probably be a good idea, but I don't know. Bit of a
The
typhoon
big
of
thing
trouble.
is I guess the big thing is I'm scared.
Would well, that makes sense. Some random guy came into your store and threatened you effectively.
I mean, I'm not scared of him, obviously. He looked like a wet noodle. What I'm scared of is whoever this boss guy is. I don't know if they're from Spectre. I don't know if they're working with Seed. I feel like we have too many enemies.
The fact that this guy knows about just about literally everything is insanely concerning, especially since he knew our chess club friend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if like they've just been in the shadow spying on us, or they got some weird ability to tell them all this information. I don't know, man.
There's a whole lot we don't know right now.
Oh no, we're way in over our heads.
Oh, yeah.
We'll figure it out.
What did this guy look like again?
She'll describe what he looked like. I forgot what he looked like.
Yeah, I didn't bring it up this time either. Very average Joe looking guy. Straight black hair. Had like a plain green t-shirt and jeans on. You could have mistaken him for basically 200 other people. The only reason you actually recognized him was because the event in question was so like big and imprinted in your mind that his actual face and the structure of it was what brought your attention.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think we should keep our heads down, and but at the same time keep a vigilant eye on who's around us and who's watching us specifically.
Yeah.
Saying that, she's gonna look up and look around.
Yeah. Susie's gonna look around too.
Rio is
uh,
vibing.
you guys can go ahead and roll either a spot or an awareness.
Awareness. Mediocre. Good.
One moment.
Jody's is good.
Sorry, guys.
I thought the mediocre was mine. Whoops.
Oh.
Nope, the mediocre was mine. Right.
I was lagging.
Wow. I only got a
Fair.
fair because, and I have a +3.
Hey, it's better than mine. That's the important
Yeah.
thing.
But Rioma's vibing, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, he's eating ice cream.
So, Jody. You check, you look around, you're like, somebody watching? Is anyone watching? A couple of kids walk past you. Actually, no. One kid holding his mom's arm walks past you and says, Mommy, Mommy, the scary lady's looking at us. Shh, don't point, Johnny.
I'm gonna narrow my eyes at him.
And they walk past.
Why are kids so rude?
Because they don't have a filter. They just say whatever comes to the top of their brains.
Yeah,
Do
that's
I
what I'm
look
wanting to have,
bad enough to be called a scary lady?
They were. I don't think they were talking about you.
So who the hell would they be talking about?
You're kind of tweaking a little.
Me? I'm not. What?
Shrug. Continue eating ice cream.
I don't know. That kid straight up pointed at my face.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
Okay.
Susie's gonna pout a bit when Ryoma says that. She's like, "Do you think I'm scary?"
I don't think anyone's scary.
Okay, well,
Her, like,
I gotta
bottom
disagree
lip
with you
is
on that. Have
twitching.
you seen her angry?
What are you talking? I'm not scary, guys.
Okay, when I first met you, you got angry at a power plant because you saw your ex there. And that was probably the most horrifying moment of my life.
Okay, what's my ex though?
Hey, most horrifying moment of your life so far.
No, and then I met you and got to know you, and then that changed.
Oh, well, I'm glad I had an effect.
Oh my god.
So,
But I didn't see
Bad.
anyone or anything bad, so.
could be anyone. Anyone could be. I mean, that guy looked like the
Mhm.
average Joe. It could be anyone.
If
Yeah.
the moment you start suspecting everybody, it's the moment everything falls apart. Just
I do
chill.
suspect everyone.
Hmm.
Ryoma, are you realizing like the severity of this right now, hun?
Yeah?
It could be more than just us three right here.
Yeah. But
What's next
we
to
have-
come after our families? Your brother?
We already did that.
How well did that
Well-
go for us?
Poorly, but okay, what is talking about it right now gonna do? Or freaking out about it?
I'm not freaking out. I'm just I don't
Look.
want to go through this again.
It makes sense that you're worried. You would be insane like me if you weren't worried. And there can't be more than one of us who is this crazy. It would throw off our entire dynamic. So how about this? You can be worried, and I'll just be here eating my ice cream.
Susie questions why she has a crush on him.
He questions it literally every moment.
Jody is over there trying to fix her look and fix her hair.
Jody having just regular ass people problems.
For real. The first time she's really cared about how she looks, so she's like,
You know
oh
what?
fuck.
I'm-
Okay.
Susie's just gonna fucking grab Jody's arm and just take her to her house and make her take a shower. Fuck it.
Ah.
Take her
Put your hair in
to
a braid.
Jody's house or Susie's house?
Whichever one's closer.
Okay. I'm gonna.
We can't go back there.
Roll
right
the
now.
dice. Huh?
We can't really go back to Jody's right now.
Oh,
I
well,
wouldn't.
Susie it is.
I mean. Okay.
Alright, Jody, we're going to my house. No one's there right now. You're just gonna take a shower. Come on.
Okay.
You guys go to Susie's house, and Jody takes a shower.
Yay.
Yeah, well,
Um.
all of her stuff is strawberry scented. Everything.
Jesus.
All of Susie's stuff.
One.
She likes strawberries.
note.
She does genuinely cringe looking at it, and she's like, oh.
She likes strawberries.
You'll use it, but she would be like, oh man.
All right. So. Huh. You know? I actually can't think of what would happen, what else would happen that day, if anything. If there are any scenes you guys want to have for that day, we can have them. I think-
Well,
Oh, God. Sorry.
I was gonna say is with my family and actually having a
Yeah.
talk with them.
yeah, of course.
And then I can't just stick with Susie hiding. She's a go-getter. She would try to do something. She's probably gonna go poke around at the chess club guy.
Oh shoot.
Hit up
She's gonna go
Simon.
hunt him down. Yeah.
All right.
Do you know where he is on the weekends?
Nope. Well, I guess she can't do it on the weekend, can she?
You have his phone number.
That's
I
true.
have his phone number.
That's true.
No, I don't. Jody does.
Oh, I do.
I was gonna ask Jody if she knows where that guy is on the weekends.
I'm not sure. Well, here you can call him if you want, and I'll like toss the phone to her as I'm like drying off and drying my hair off more and doing it.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that.
What the fuck?
What?
We're watching YouTube together. Let's go.
What the fuck?
No! Turn it off! How do I turn it off? I didn't click that!
Pray to God.
Leave activity! There.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, she gives the phone number. Susie calls him and then makes Jody sit on the floor next to her bed so she can braid her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, she has short hair now, huh?
Yeah, you could play with it
And she's brushing her hair out.
as it's air drying.
Yeah, she's brushing it.
Mhm.
Doing girl stuff. Ryoma's over in the corner watching, I'm sure, like a freak.
He's probably spacing out, to be completely honest, Chief.
Yeah, I figured.
Mhm. Well,
You are calling from my phone because I just threw you my phone. So
Oh, okay. So then she's calling on Jody's phone while playing with Jody's hair, and
Hmm.
Ryoma's in the corner.
so you call Simon.
Okay.
Does he answer?
It is Jody's phone calling.
Yeah, but Jody's not necessarily the most important thing in his life.
Fair.
yet
Fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
So, The call goes to voicemail.
Hmm.
You just hear Simon's voice saying, "Hi, I'm Simon Zegas. Sorry I couldn't come to the phone right now. If you have any business inquiries, I don't know, call my dad or something." Boop.
uh, Susie blinks a few times and says, "Hey, it's Susie Woolley. I have a couple questions for you. Here's my number."
The line picks
Says
up
it out.
immediately.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, Susie, hi. Sorry. Kinda, stuff happening. Busy day. What's up?"
Bitch, you left me goes to voicemail and then you answer? Really?
Okay, listen, look, like I said, a lot happening.
There's people watching you too right now, isn't there?
Of course there fucking are. You know who I work for. It's the job, it's the life.
And that's exactly why I'm asking you a couple of questions. Do you think anyone's listening to this?
Could be. Unlikely, but it's possible.
Alright. Can you meet me somewhere?
Not right now. In the middle of an operation.
Ah.
Give it a couple of hours. Maybe here. I'll text an address to this number. It'll be at a park. Late night. Well, not late night, maybe like 6, but
I'll be there.
yeah. You get a time and a location.
Mm-hmm. Alright. She hangs up, hands the phone back to Jenny, and says, "Alright, well, my night is booked."
I mean, you don't really expect us to just let you go alone, right?
I don't plan to do anything crazy. And Jody's got stuff to do, don't you?
Yeah, technically.
I think you should go keep an eye on her.
I can't go with Jody
Why?
because I'm not sitting in a living room as she talks to her parents.
You can sit outside.
I'm not doing that again.
I'm pretty convinced that
Can.
if he comes to my premise, to my household, my dad will try to bash his head in with a bat again.
I don't want to hurt your dad.
Sorry, again.
Yeah. My family is very on edge recently because of shit that happened last night, and him showing up with no warning right after all that.
Oh, the fight thing?
Yeah.
You didn't exactly tell me what happened.
Basics of it is, and then I'll explain like the same shit that I explained to Ryoma.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's weird.
So now they're on edge, and this numbnuts shows up and sets out their alarms. But I gotta talk to them about all that. So it probably will be just you meeting with our friend there. But I think Ryoma should go with you.
And finally, me and Jody agree on something.
This is the only time.
I doubt that.
Susie pouts a little and says, "Alright, you can come."
Is there a reason you wanted to go alone after we just talked about how people are watching us?
I guess she wouldn't have
Is-
pouted, would she? She would have just said, "Alright, fine, you can come." Is there a reason? She thinks about it for a second and then says, "Well, I guess I just don't want to get you into more trouble than you're already in."
Oh, there's nothing they can do to me that'll matter.
And I wasn't sure if you were okay to go out again like this after what happened last time.
I'm fine.
Are you?
Water under the bridge.
Okay. Well, then it's settled.
Okay.
So, oh boy. Fucking
We're gonna have something else happen where Ryoma fucking tells Susie that he doesn't want to see her anymore.
Jesus.
Again.
Susie and Jody, why don't each of you roll me a d6?
Okay.
Whoever's higher will start with that.
Oh shit.
Okay, so Susie, you head out to the park. There's
You
a
said it wasn't gonna be late till late at night, right?
around
Yeah.
6 p.m. was the specific
good
time.
point.
Yeah. I'm not saying you head out immediately. If there's another scene you wanted to do, then you can do that.
No. I was wondering if Jody's would be earlier in the day or not.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then off to the park she goes.
You head to the park. There's a specific park bench you would have been told to go to. You head over there.
She tells Ryoma to not go out immediately with her and just kind of hang back.
He nods.
Just in case anything happens. I just want to have backup and not, have a surprise or something.
He nods. Sure. I mean, I'll be as effective over here as I would be right there. So, which is just a lie, but.
Oh, that's a good point.
So, you head over, sit down at the park bench. Ryoma's like off in the trees somewhere with a nice view. And a good 7 minutes later or something, Simon is air quote passing by and takes a seat next to you.
Mhm.
So, how's things?
They're fine. Hey, do you know of a guy, a friend perhaps, that might be able to read power levels?
That's pretty broad. We've got meters
Is it?
in a couple different sections of Spectre.
Okay. And she'll kind of describe the guy.
No, I don't know anybody like that. Doesn't mean they're not from us, though. It's a big organization. That being said, I've never heard of an operation where we... Well, I suppose it's not outside the realm of possibility. If you're saying this happened on the same day that the mall was attacked, right?
Mm-hmm. He was there that day. And Spectre wasn't part of that, right? Or was it?
Well, it was either us or it was the Bureau. And I hate to say it, but the more I think about that incident, the more likely it was us. You said the van had, what was it, IVs? Chairs?
Mm-hmm.
The Bureau wouldn't need to be open about kidnapping people. They can spirit them away in the night easy. They have government funding. Whoever pulled that stunt at the mall was desperate. Needed something to
Desperate for
happen.
what?
Time, I assume. Had to do it fast. Get as many resources as they could.
Resources, really?
Sorry, it's a strategic brain.
I just anyone who can just see people as resources,
I get
I
it.
can't even.
Believe me, I get it. It's not a word I use when I talk about friends. If it was Spectre, it was one of the other sectors. Our kind don't do that. We don't need to. We're all about empowering the weakened, not abusing the strong.
Mhm. I'm choosing to believe you on that. But this guy did mention,
So he knows me, but I don't know him.
hmm
That's not Spectre. Our identities are
You sure?
closely... Yeah, our identities are closely guarded. It's a whole security-wide thing. The names I use for the leaders of other cells, they're not real names.
Well, obviously.
The only person... Well, the only people that I have direct contact with and know by actual name know me just as well. We make sure of that. There's protocols and defense steps. If this guy knows me and I don't know him, they're stepping outside of those steps, which would immediately put them at odds with the rest of the organization. They're either not associated with Spectre at all, or they've gone rogue.
I can't tell which is worse.
I would argue the former. If they've gone rogue, they could be alone. If they're not associated with Spectre at all, a group could be on top of this. And there's only one group I could think of that would... fuck. Look, you said you're taking my word that I'm not actually abusing people.
Mm-hmm.
Want me to prove it?
Can you?
You've already said that you want to take down the Bureau. And
I do.
as you've probably figured out by now, one high school girl, even someone at your power level, isn't going to be enough to make that happen. Doesn't even know what to do for that.
My original plan was to become an ace and get into the Bureau and change things, but I'm starting to realize that there's a chance that that can't happen, especially if people like Seed are what Tobias said they are.
If you want, I could take you to one of our bases. Introduce you to my team, show you what we're doing, the people we're working with. But
Become a member of Spectre.
it would be required for you to see that, yeah. By visiting, you'd already be pretty much declaring association with us. Now, that's not a blatant declaration. The Bureau wouldn't necessarily be aware of it. There are easy ways to hide that. That also doesn't make any sense. He stops for a second. If this guy If he was threatening you, he can't be with the Bureau. The Bureau would just arrest you, put you back in Reformation camps.
She cringes so hard at that word.
Sorry, no nice way to put it. If they didn't do that, they can't know what you're up to. What the fuck is this guy up to?
Whoever this guy is, it must be. Wait, what if it's Ember? No, that doesn't make sense.
Ember.
There's just a bunch of radical terrorists, right?
Yeah, they just kill people. That's their whole deal. Unless this was a genuine warning. Like it's somebody from Ember who doesn't want to kill you for some reason.
I don't know why they wouldn't.
Me neither. They've taken higher power levels than yours. No offense.
None taken. That's why well, trust in the people who can take on things like that.
Hmm.
Do you think they'd be more powerful than a friend of ours?
I don't know. They'd outnumber him for sure. We don't know a lot about Ember, but we do know they've got better tech than us. Which means they have to be a group.
Huh? When you say tech, what do you mean?
Some of that would have to wait until you make a decision. But you already know that we're able to create amplifiers. Ember doesn't exactly have that, but there are more signs at the crime scenes than just claws. There's sparks of lightning, skid marks on the ground, like somebody's running at super speed. Burn marks that look like a laser blast.
So what? Wait, hold on a fucking second. Laser blast?
Yeah.
I know someone who can use lasers.
It's a pretty common ability.
Oh, okay,
I wouldn't get too
never mind.
dedicated.
And she like grabs her head. Oh, why is everything so difficult?
That's the world I live in. But you still have a choice. You don't have to worry about this stuff. You're a high tier.
I
You
can't
get...
just.
Why not? Give me one good reason why you can't just let this go.
She like slowly clenches her fist. I know the truth of what happened to my friends. I can't just let them get away with that. No one else is going to bring them to. I guess justice isn't even the word anymore.
I think it is. Look, if you really believe that, then you gotta commit to it. But you need to identify what your version of justice is. What do you want to happen here?
I guess I want the rest of the world to know the truth.
Well,
I want things to change. I want people to be treated like people, not based off of a number.
then I think you'd really like my team. But it's up to you.
I think I'd have to talk with my friends first.
He nods. If you have any
Thanks
other...
for
Sorry.
Nah, I don't think I have anything else to ask. You don't know the identity of that dude, but I mean, you never do. Or I guess if you ever just need backup, I don't know.
I'll look into him.
I don't know.
See what comes up. So, this conversation happens. I want to say around a midpoint to it. Ryoma, roll an awareness check.
Yikes.
I'll be honest, if Ryoma wasn't there, she probably would have been like, yeah, fuck it, let's go see Spectre. That was the only thing holding her back.
I would like to reroll this. Using the my aspect become the hero because it's to defend Susie.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna just flat? I think I'm just gonna flat reroll that, right? Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Let's fucking go.
So, Susie's fine. Not even remotely in danger of being interrupted. But you hear a rustle in the trees about half a yard behind you. No, you'd hear it further away than that, probably like 5 yards behind you.
Okay, I can't. No, I can't mess with that. That's too far.
What do you mean it's not? You said that you could go like a full gymnasium, right?
Oh, the math is not mathing for me. I can touch that.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, 5 yards is
Can I-
about 15 feet.
and all I can get from it is that there's something rustling over there. I can't see anything about it.
I mean, it's behind you. You could turn around, but that would alert them
Oh,
to
yeah,
the fact that you know.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not a calm stealth man.
Cool. Yeah, you turn around and you do see. You see Tobias.
Do I do jealous boyfriend things? Probably.
He's got his hands raised and everything.
It's
he's
who?
also-
Simon?
Tobias.
Oh.
And he's just like he's climbing. He climbed the tree to. Okay.
No, he didn't. Let me rephrase. The tree is not rustling because he climbed it. The tree is rustling because it has low hanging branches that he bumped into.
Ah.
Yeah, he's just walking.
I gotta. So he's gonna, instead of like climbing out of the tree like a person, he's gonna just remove himself from the tree, using his ability, and then just quickly move towards Tobias.
Oh, yeah.
Not like I'm gonna flying punch him, but like he just needs to get in his way so he stops approaching.
Yeah. He stopped approaching the minute you showed yourself. Still, he has his hands raised. You are up in his face.
He just lands. What you doing?
Looking for you. Ryoma, right?
Maybe. Who's asking?
He holds out a hand to shake. Tobias. Tobias Krieg.
You met Tobias before.
Yeah, so I'm a dick.
Right.
I don't think I was gonna get stumped of do I shake this man's hand or not. He looks down at the hand for like longer than one probably should, and then takes it, shakes it.
Your brother told me a lot about you. Though from how you acted during the fight, you changed a lot.
What do you mean by that?
What, I mean, well, don't get me wrong, right up until the point where we had to run and you, did what you did. It was par for the course. But the way you looked after it was done, I I want to say that I get it. I've gone really far sometimes. My power may not be as strong as yours, but it's strong enough to cave a man's skull in. It's not a good feeling when you go that far, especially with someone you're close to.
Yeah, fortunately, it all worked out in the end.
Yeah,
Hi.
really fortunate. Really, really fortunate. But that's not what I'm here about. Look, Andrew, well, he wanted me to ask you if you might consider joining up with us.
Oh, wow. He could have just asked me.
He was thinking about it, but he wasn't sure. Had to take time to
And he,
think.
and he thought sending me and you don't have the best relationship. Just putting that on the table.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told him, but I mean, from his perspective,
Yeah.
you and him don't either. So,
That is true. Oh, fair enough. You know what? Fair enough.
yeah.
Okay, what is your side? But just what would joining you entail exactly?
You know from Simon already that there's a few different cells of Spectre. The one he belongs to is about addressing the root of the problem, strengthening the people of the lower tiers so they can match the higher tiers in combat. That way, this society doesn't have any grounds to stand on, and theoretically, it'll crumble. But there are a lot of us that don't believe that, and think that the Bureau will just find ways to depower and demean people all over again. I mean,
Well, we know that's true. They can do that.
exactly. So, we figure if they can do it to us, maybe we should do it to them first. If we take away their source of power, their the thing that gives them the supposed right to rule, we can tear this structure apart from the head without having to cut at the legs first.
So your guys' big goal is to inevitably overthrow the Bureau?
Eventually. Right now, it's just. I mean, we're not going to go straight at them. We're not stupid. We go for those funding them first. That's what got us targeting your family.
Huh. I'll have to think about this.
Take your time. I'm sure that Simon's already making Susie an offer.
Is Simon on your side? I would assume not because of the situation.
There's a lot of infighting in our organization. Fundamentally, we all agree that the Bureau needs to go down, and this society that we have it could never work. But In terms of what we want to replace it and how we think it would be best to take it apart, that's where we differ.
I see. Well, I can't say if I'm leaning towards one way or the other, but I guess I'll be in contact.
Sounds good. Here. He passes you a little flashcard with a phone number on it. If there's anything I can do to help out, we're part of the reason that you guys are even involved in this, so we owe it to you.
Well, thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
With that, long as you permit it, he will turn around and walk off into the trees.
Yep, he watches him walk off, and then he turns and begins walking back to where Susie and Simon are.
Yep. Simon and Susie wrap up their conversation and Simon starts walking away. You two meet up maybe a few minutes later, walking through the dark.
All right. Yeah. Susie goes to meet up with Ryoma.
Mm-hmm.
We
How
have
much
a
were
lot
you?
to talk about.
Yeah, I assume you heard everything that we talked about.
Oh, not really.
She like tilts her head, looking confused. What do you mean? That's like the whole reason you came here, right?
Yep, and then other things happened.
Like what?
Well, you talked to Simon, and I'm gonna make a really big guess here about fully joining his organization.
Yeah, he did make that offer. He also said that he didn't know who that guy was, but he'd keep an eye out for it.
Oh yeah, I should have asked. Oh well.
Should have asked what?
Well, a certain person came and talked to me about my brother
He looks
and
confused.
offered to join their organization.
Who? What organization?
It's the same overall organization as Simon, but different
Are you dodging the question?
because I have to mentally prepare for saying who gave me this. Tobias came by.
Her eyes widen. What? He was here?
Yes.
Where?
He just goes over there, but not like gesturing. He was looking for me this time. I went to intercept him thinking he was going to do stupid things, but instead we had a conversation.
Which was
What I told you. My brother wants me to think about joining his organization.
let's see. Mm. They're not part of the same thing, huh?
I think they're part of the same overall thing, but different departments.
Your brother and Tobias are from the one that wants to take people's powers away from them. And Simon. Simon?
Simon.
It is Simon, okay. And Simon's from the one that wants to just make the little guys stronger.
From what Tobias said, it's not only they also want to raise the little guy up. They want to take low tiers and make them stronger so that high tiers can't just walk all over them. But they also want to even the playing field with the Bureau because they can just take your power away. So that they should take the Bureau's power away.
I mean, to that I agree a little bit, but not enough for me to completely be okay with them.
Yeah. Either way, I think it's a decision we should think over and not just be impulsive about.
Definitely.
Speaking of being impulsive, Jody, you went back home.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents took the day off. The house is clean. They are sitting at the table waiting for you. Neither of them speaks when you get home, but they do just smile.
Hi.
Welcome home.
Mm. Yeah, she'll awkwardly walk over to the table and sit like across from them. So I think we should have a talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Who who was that guy? Exactly.
Sorry. Looking for the names. I gave a name. Did I not write down the motherfucker's name? Did I really do that? Am I stupid?
A real reggie.
I am so dumb. Whatever.
That's okay.
His name's Landon. I'm gonna write it down this time. His name might not have been Landon before, but it is now.
It is now. Okay.
Okay. He's he runs the neighborhood. Not officially, there's no title to it, but
Mhm.
he makes sure that us low tiers don't get hurt by anyone higher tier than us.
Mhm. Okay.
Apparently,
Do you? Sorry, go on.
he to do that he needs supplies, various medicinal drugs, and we were up until now we've been runners for him. He paid us to supply him. It was the best way we could think of to keep this family safe.
Okay. Okay. It's. I get why you did it, and it is a good reason to seek protection, but I don't know, it just feels like you haven't taken your own advice. You told me to keep my head down and stay out of trouble, but I feel like hanging out with someone like that is the definition of trouble. and especially working for him.
Jody, whether we work for him or not, and it's your mother speaking this time,
Mm-hmm.
we don't get to choose whether we're around him. We are. This is his place. Everyone in the neighborhood knows who he is. They either work for him or live under his thumb. That's the world we live in. There are powerful people running every sector of it. And you either work with them and do what they want, or you fight it and die. For most people, the thing they answer to is the Bureau, but the Bureau never cared about low-tier neighborhoods like ours. They let people like Landon do whatever they want. And when vigilantes show up to try to fix the problem, Ember comes around to kill them off.
All right. Well, his jurisdiction doesn't involve this house anymore.
Jody,
I won't allow that. You're doing this because the family is important to you. And I'm doing this because the family is important to me.
it isn't just that he can hurt us. He holds our purse strings. We're going to have to look for other jobs. But that's not your concern. That's our lives. We made the decision. The decision has run its course. We need to make a new one. And just... I don't know how your powers grew so quickly, Jody. I'm glad to hear that it wasn't from whatever Landon's been using. But be careful. The way that he's behaved whenever he's taken his own custom drugs, it's not the way anyone should live. I want to believe that whatever happened to you is better, but we're always going to worry about you, no matter how strong you are.
All right. I understand. She's going to stand up from the table. And she will head to her room with a glare of determination in her eye. For the first time in a real long while, she wants to make a change, and she wants to change how all of this runs. And
Okay.
she begins to understand how Susie feels more and more with every step she takes to her room.
Hell yeah. So, the night passes.
Is Ryoma sleeping at my house again?
I don't think so.
No?
He goes home.
Shock and awe.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody goes home for the night. Tomorrow morning, you each wake up in your own houses. Jody and Susie would have probably a nice breakfast with their families, or as nice as it can be, in Jody's case.
So he
And
looks at Jody.
Ryoma,
Oh god.
you wake up in your own home. What time would you wake up at?
No, probably like 9 to 10.
Oh, but it's so weird that I wake up at 8.
Yeah, this is the earliest one should awake.
So we'll say you wake up at around 9:30. When you get out of your room, you see your dad, already dressed in his work clothes, heading out the door. Your mom turns around. She's a tall, slender woman with very, appraising eyes. Like, every time she looks at a person, she's figuring out how much they're worth.
Yikes.
And
Ooh.
turns around, sees you. Her eyes tell you you are worthless.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That explains so much.
He looks at them with his same distant look and just smiles and goes, "Oh, good morning, mother and father. Have a great day."
You say that just before your dad closes the door behind him as he's walking out. Your mom just ignores you and walks over to the piano and begins to play something. I don't know, something classical.
This bitch.
Yeah. So, what would you like to do, Ryoma?
Hmm. He debating if he wants to try to talk to his mother. I have to capitalize the try.
Make sure to add a trademark at the end of it, too.
Exactly. I have a question. Did Andrew going to the hospital? I assume that was the family knows about that.
Oh, yeah. They'd have gotten notice.
So he's probably like close behind making like what's a thing? It's a bowl of cereal because you can make a lot of noise trying to make a bowl of cereal.
Mhm.
Like puts the bowl down, lets it do that like slightly spin thing that's overly
Swirl.
loud. Yeah.
Swirl it.
And then like out of nowhere, especially like he'll wait because he's probably heard her play this piece countless times to the part where it gets like you need to focus, and then he goes, "So, mother,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
have you
yeah, she keeps playing, sorry.
have you been to see? Have you been to the hospital?"
Mhm. She would stop for a second, like slow to a stop, and say, "No. Why would I?"
Because Andrew was in the hospital. I would have assumed we would go to see your son, who was hurt.
My son, who abandoned his studies to run a home and seek, how did he put it? New job opportunities? No, I don't think I would.
I get it. Okay. My mistake. I would have thought that the tinge of maternal instincts might have reawakened within you, but I am sadly mistaken.
And Ryoma's hot again. Oh, my
He
mic
then
was on. I'm
gets
so
the-
sorry.
He gets the milk out and just doesn't puts it right above where he's gonna set it down, and then just lets it go so it hits and is loud.
And I would have thought that the instinct of a son to show respect to his mother would have spawned in you at some point past the age of 17, but... Or, wait, how old are you? Sorry.
I think I am 17,
Yeah.
to be honest.
At some point past the age of 17, but, well, what can I say? If you didn't develop it at 5, you're probably never going to.
I think I think it comes from the lack of support, love, general attention.
Love is a
Oh.
lie people sell to their children so that they can believe they'll be something bigger when they grow up. We taught you
I gotta mute my mic.
to be that something bigger, no matter how old or young you are. You chose to ignore that lesson, so I choose to ignore you.
You taught me that I can't count on anybody in this world at all. That I need to be number one. And guess what? That life sucked. You're miserable. Look around you. You and your husband looked at each other when he left. How is that a life? He then just puts all the stuff he was going to use to make a bowl of cereal away because he does not actually want a bowl of cereal. He shakes his head. I am at the point where my outbursts and these emotions to what he's currently doing, these tactics to ambush you, to engage in some kind of conversation, are just probably gonna stop. I wake up and I hope that me and you are gonna have a conversation just once, just one actual conversation, and that goes away. And then I do the same thing with my father, but at least he'll talk to me. Granted, it's usually spurred on by him using his ability and asking me why I'm not better, but at least he talks.
She turns around. You want me to talk to you? What do you want me to say? Do you want me to say that I married the man you think I love because he happens to be rich? Because I know that I will have a secure life as long as I'm with him? Because I know that I will have the opportunity to have children who are in a better station? My father refused allowing me to work because I was born the sex that I am. And now you want me to allow you the freedoms I was never given. How could that be honest? That's not a life I ever knew. It's not a life I could ever teach. I'm not going to pretend that I had love for you when that isn't real. Your father understands that. Your brother, Ian, understands that. Yet it's taken Andrew and yourself this long to realize it.
We just wanted. We weren't. It wasn't our fault what you had to go through. And one would expect that they would want a situation that they are creating to be better than the one they are from. I wish I could blame you. I wish I could hate you. I can't. I owe you everything, really. You gave up everything so that I can be this. I don't even know what this is anymore.
And that's the problem. Figure out who you are before you start trying to tell me who I should be.
He probably just deflates onto a couch or even the floor if he wasn't super close to the couch and just sits there for a bit.
Yeah, she's gonna go back to playing piano.
Yeah.
Cool! Anyway.
We had to get our parental moderate abuse.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna go ahead and cut to later in the day. We'll say that you guys have a nice little meeting. You've got like a private place set up.
So the three of us are hanging out again. No more scary parental trauma.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry to put you guys through that. Just, you know.
That was fine. No, I
enjoyed
loved
it.
every second of it.
I literally stated my parents are ass. It was my fault.
Nah, man. I loved it. I don't have to like it, but I loved it. Good storytelling. Also, fuck that bitch. But also, I feel bad for her. Complications.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel complicated.
Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
Second
for real.
opening to da-da-da-da.
Yep.
So they're just kind of vibing in a room.
Yeah.
Ryoma,
They
you know how you could just dead weight in a pool of water and you just kind of float there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's
Mhm.
happening,
Aw.
but in the air.
Oh, poor Ryoma.
And then he's also gonna tell because Jody hasn't been brought up to speed on the fact that me and you were both invited to different sects of the same organization.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gonna make sure we tell Jody that we were both invited for
Yeah, so that's probably the first order of business. It's like, hey, Jody, glad you can make it. All right, so it's time to start talking. So,
yes or no.
yeah, terrorism, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Wow, that was holy shit. Who are you?
I'm surprised you said yes so fast.
Conversation with my family last night
Oh no, that can't be good.
went in a direction that made me realize how being scared of change was bringing me nowhere and no happiness. And so I've decided that I need to make the ultimate change.
Susie
So,
raises
yes.
her eyebrows a little bit, kind of excited.
So, yes. Quote unquote terrorism.
Well,
Didn't hear it from me though.
no shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I can't say that I'm happy that whatever happened last night has spurred this upon you, but at least we're all on the same page.
Yeah. So Oh, my parents are gonna be really upset. But so me and Ryoma both got invited to join Spectre,
Mm-hmm.
and from two different sides. So if we want to commit the terrorism with them, we have to decide which side to pick.
Yeah, that sums it up.
I mean, both sides are going towards the same goal, right? It's just different
But it's-
methods.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Which methods do you agree with the most?
I don't think I agree with taking people's powers away from them.
But it would make it easier to fight.
I guess that's true. I don't know. People like Dr. C deserve to lose their. Well, okay, maybe. Hold on a second.
But when you get to that, now it's a hard thing to think of who to side with, because it's all just, I guess, preference. Because we can't pick and choose if we're gonna take powers from certain people, because that's just, now we're no better than the Bureau, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's true.
I'm trying to have a moral compass is hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I
what?
mean-
That is new for you. I'm proud of you, Ryoma.
I
Are you still floating during those
yeah,
conversations?
the entire time.
Yeah, Jody
floating.
has her finger on your back, and she's kind of like leading you around the room a little bit
Well, I guess we're doing that.
as we're talking, just because it's a walk and talk situation.
Certain things have been brought up, and I need to soon make a decision on who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think which group that dismantles the Bureau I want to join will mold that. Also, I feel like I should tell you both, I don't really care about dismantling the Bureau.
That's fine. I get it.
I'm gonna do it.
Why? What is your stake in all of this, Ryoma? Is it just our promise?
He stops floating and like puts his feet on the ground and looks at both of them. My stake? It's in this room. You two. If you two do it, then, well, I'm doing it. If you guys are going to war, well, they better prepare for me.
Alright, she remembers why she has a crush on him, and I'm mad about it.
Even like Jody has like a slight blush, is like, you jerk. All right, fine.
Did she say you jerk?
Under her breath, yeah. Maybe from where you could hear it, but not her, not
Not
He
him.
wasn't paying
Real,
his
though.
attention anyways when he's
Yeah.
talking. You both. He can't multitask. He puts his hand up as he gets a serious look on his face as he stares at his hand. I need you to know that if we do this, so he then looks at Jody because of the conversation they had, we might have to do something very bad.
And she looks between them like, why are you looking at each other like
He
that?
then looks at Susie. Have you ever thought about that you might need to take a life?
More than once?
Okay. Wanted to make sure we're all on the same page.
I mean, obviously I don't want to, because, again, I would just be no better than the Bureau, but if I had to, I don't know. I don't know.
Alright. Back to terrorism.
Yeah,
On one side, we have Simon, who we've been working with, and I've threatened
Wait.
his life.
Hang on a second. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Back to almost. Wait. Back to terrorism. There we go.
Uh,
Shut the fuck up! Get
it's
out of here, Basil.
I own this room.
I own everything. Fear.
Anyway, yeah.
On one side, we have Simon, the guy who's been helping us, the one we've been talking to, the one I almost killed. And
Oh,
on
yeah.
the other side, we have my brother, someone I trust, and Tobias, who we collectively dislike.
I don't know if I hate him or not anymore
Okay.
after what he told me.
He puts a hand on her shoulder. I'll hate him for the both of us.
Wait, he doesn't even know why she hates him anymore.
I don't have
Or she
to
doesn't hate him.
I don't have to know. Fuck that guy.
What? Why does he hate him?
Jealous.
You hated him, so I hate him.
Also jealous.
Also that.
Is he jealous? Oh, that's cute.
Probably.
He can take my friend away from me. You're my friend.
What do you mean? It's not gonna take me away.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know what he wants. Anyways,
What?
this is a completely different topic. We're talking about changing the world.
I mean, that's kind of been my goal for a long time.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I feel like that book would help us a lot.
Oh yeah. You forgot
Forgot
to
about
ask,
that.
You guys forgot to ask about Unordinary too.
He whips his phone out and just goes, "Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
You girls, talk about."
What,
I
girl
was, I
stuff?
wanted, well, actually, I was gonna try to make a quip, but all I could say is talk about dismantling the government if you want.
I think that's peak girl conversation.
I'd say so.
He's gonna step out, and I'm gonna call Tobias.
Dope.
You have Tobias' phone number? Look like.
Yeah, he handed it to me.
Oh, that's right.
Mm.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so you step out, you call Tobias. After a couple of rings, he picks up. Hello?
Hey, Tobias. No, he's not gonna. He's an asshole. He gets a nickname immediately. Tobias, Toby. Hey, Toby, it's Ryoma. What's correct?
Only my boyfriend calls me Toby.
Wow, we moved fast.
It's fuck no. No.
He
I'm
loves to
saying
laugh.
you. Oh, you shit heel. I can see why she's into you. What's up?
What?
Wait, hold on. We're gonna. Nope. Focus.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of a? Oh, I know you've heard of it. How do I ask this question? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Unordinary. Do you know where I can find it?
Oh, you're already that far in, huh? Well, you're in luck. Give me a second. Let me text you something. You receive a link to a Google document.
No fucking way.
You have this on Google Drive.
Motherfucker has the most illegal thing around ever in a Google Doc.
So let me. Okay. He says, before you ask any questions, this is not mine. I don't know whose this is. They're stupid, but they're also working through a lot of proxies. We've tried to hack them to try to find them before the Bureau did, and we couldn't find shit. So they're being careful, I think. Either that or they're already dead. This isn't exactly unordinary. I know because I had a copy of it. And they don't exactly match up. But it's pretty damn close. It's close enough that I know for a fact this was written by the same author. It's called Untitled, and it's unordinary but a little faster.
He sighs. I really wanted the original, but I guess this'll do.
Hey, I mean, if we make it through this, I'll give you my copy.
Good enough for me.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Plus, not gonna lie, I think Untitled's better.
Whatever. Tell your boyfriend I said hi.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah, we have a handshake. He knows me, and then he hangs up.
What? Ryoma is the most unhinged character. I
So-
love him.
Ryoma goes back to your group. I assume he just says, "Alright, so I have an ordinary now."
He walks up and then he walks up with his phone. And goes, "All right, who wants to read an ordinary?"
What? Huh?
Oh, I should have led with something different. If you guys had the chance, would you read an ordinary?
I thought I read it already.
No, we read a really bad proxy online.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I don't know. Can I get a
Yeah, I wanna
summary of
hear.
this book?
Yeah.
An ordinary is that really illegal book that we're not supposed to talk about or read ever. That apparently makes people into vigilantes and go against
Yeah.
the bureau and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm sending you a. I have to prep myself to say these words. I'm gonna send you a Google Drive link.
Since I have good computer science, I'm like, I don't trust the links. Okay.
Susie doesn't think twice. She's just like, okay.
Yeah. So, you guys each pull it up independently and start a little book club. It is unordinary. Well, and untitled. Is not a very long book. You can read it in about an hour. But the story it tells, while simple, isn't unlike any other fiction that this world possesses. The main character is... So, first chapter starts with just a POV of a completely ordinary individual, or this world's version of ordinary, has no powers, a cripple. But he lives in a world full of them. No one has fantastic abilities. No one has special powers. Everyone is just their bodies. There's nothing else to them. And in this world, there's a lot more focus on people's talents, their skills, the things they do for a living, rather than the abilities they possess, because they don't have them. Until this POV character meets one man who becomes the main character for the rest of the book. One man who has any power and every power you could think of. The ability to uplift people and make things better. Or, as you would immediately assume, the ability to take over, make himself king, basically. But he doesn't. He helps. He saves lives. He averts disasters. He teaches people right from wrong. He stops robberies peacefully, without violence. He does good by everyone. It's an overly positive narrative that doesn't have many situations in which the main character struggles physically, but there's a lot where people around him struggle mentally, and where he struggles to help them. Every time he helps, he gives a little bit of himself. And it starts to kind of slow down into this downward spiral where he starts wondering if he's really doing the right thing. People are depending on him more and more, and it's hurting deep inside. Until that kid from the POV of the first chapter, he comes back around. He's an adult now. This is years later. He sees this man again. He notices something's wrong. And he starts helping him. This random cripple helps this superhero. Listens to what he needs to talk about. Does his best to understand. And then talks to some of the other people this guy's helped. And by the end of the book, this man, this savior of mankind, has friends, family, kin, people around him, people who owe him everything, and who don't have to feel that way anymore because they've already helped him. And they're going to keep helping him the way he helped them. The book ends with the lines, "I may be the most physically spectacular man in the world, but with the spectacular things the people around me do every day, I'm nothing out of the ordinary."
This is what makes people turn into heroes. This is illegal somehow.
I want to stress the
This is
fact
amazing.
that you have never read anything like this before.
Oh, I see. That's right. Right. We live in a world where things like this don't. Yeah.
The strong do not help the weak. The weak empower the strong.
Right.
This goes against that.
Right. That's this. Okay. Completely different reaction then. Let's see. How would Susie react to this?
She could still react that way. That's still reasonable. But she would know why it's not okay. She could still love it, but she would know why it's banned.
I think instead of reacting that way, a little differently. I don't know if someone else wants to react first.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
She would probably tear up, actually. And say, she would instead say this. This is exactly what I've been trying to do. To say.
I can definitely see why it's illegal.
Yeah.
Plants the seed of change. Clearly, Bureau doesn't want that.
This is actually when I remember, so I can remind you, Susie, that the thing you heard the Bureau talking about with the principal
Mm-hmm.
was the fact that someone at school is distributing copies of Unordinary there.
That's right. She'll say that to them now that she remembers. Dr. Seed. I remember why she was there now. It's because someone was passing an ordinary around the school.
Mm.
I can see why they didn't want that.
What is Ryoma's reaction to this?
He's quiet. He's silent. I'm probably staring at like that last block, continuously rereading it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably sitting at I don't know how to feel. Mostly because he was expecting this big, profound change within himself. That reading this would tell him what he's supposed to do. And instead, he's still the same kid, just with these slightly more ideas now.
Mm-hmm.
He was expecting to be given an answer, not to question more things.
So now what?
Did it change anything for either of you?
Um, I mean, I already felt like this before, so I guess it just shows me that it's not just me who thought about it.
I'll basically say the same. I want to change. And this book really just proves how much I want things to be different. Hmm. What about you?
He looks up at them with like almost a sad expression. I don't know. I was hoping for something more, I guess.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is different. It's new. It's very understandable why the Bureau doesn't want people to read it. I can't say I've ever read something with this big of an effect on me, but I guess I was hoping the effect would be immediate.
You thought that reading this would make you think the way I do, didn't you?
Reading it, I hoped would make me feel strongly about something. It would, I don't know, maybe light even a fire half the size of yours within me. I just have more questions.
that makes sense. Well, using your fire comparison, every fire starts with a spark. Maybe this could be your spark to grow, to come to realization like I did yesterday.
I mean, do you think I just one day was like, I'm gonna change the world?
Yeah, basically.
No. What Jody said. And she's like gonna. I imagine we're pretty close to each other to some degree.
Yeah.
She'll like reach over and like touch his shoulder and be like, "It starts with a spark." And I don't know. You seem kind of passionate about helping the two of us, keeping us safe. I'd
That's
say you're
just
pretty passionate.
that's just being selfish.
Is it?
I don't want to lose you two. If you go to do something dangerous and I'm not there, I could lose you. The guy in this book, he felt an obligation. He wanted the change. He wanted to help people.
Mhm.
He then stops and looks like as if like a eureka moment. I need to go talk to somebody.
Okay. And she'll like gently take her hand off him. Go do it then.
I'm gonna be right back. He then like bolts out of the room.
See you in a minute, lover boy.
Yeah.
Huh?
you you hear a dish break downstairs, and Patrick's just shouting up like, "What the hell did he do this time?"
Oh, wait, were we at Jody's house?
Probably.
No, I thought Patrick was. Wait, was Patrick Susie's dad or Jody's dad?
Oh,
Shit.
shit. I couldn't. Well, he reacted very aggressively, so I thought it was Jody's dad.
No,
I'm gonna be
remember,
honest.
I'm pretty sure Patrick is Susie's dad, and
Yeah,
Patrick's
Patrick
dad.
is Susie's dad.
Yeah.
Patrick is Susie's dad.
Patrick was very defensive of Susie the other day because because
He
Ryoma
made
brought
Susie
pizza.
cry.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, yeah, Ryoma, where are you going? Who are you talking to?
Yeah, where are you going?
He's headed back to Maudlin. He
Oh.
wants to see if he can find tea.
Oh. Okay.
Mm.
Interesting. You head to Maudlin, and it's the weekend, so T would be in his dorm room. Or well, no, it's still like afternoon-ish. He'd be around the school for sure. I think you'd just find him on the roof.
Perfect. It's far more dramatic than usual, but he just, once he gets to the school, he just picks himself up and throws himself towards the roof. Instead of the light flutter, he's probably going very fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he try to do this in a way where nobody will see him?
That's the idea, but if people are around, his brain isn't keeping his secret time.
Cool. You do that. You find a secluded place you can and just throw yourself onto the roof. That alone actually gets T to stand up and look at you.
He turns to him. Not a serious expression, not a goofy expression, but like one with actual emotion. Trevelyan, I have a question.
He blinks. What kind of question has you using my full first name?
You are the king here, but it doesn't stop there. You told me you would protect this place.
Yeah.
You talked about it like it was your obligation, but it's something you want to do.
Yeah.
How did you figure that out?
His brow furrows. I fought my way here. I had to struggle and climb.
He begins walking towards him, but you are probably undoubtedly one of the strongest people in this building. Yet you would help people in this building if they were around you. You don't want people going too far. You stop fights before people do things too dramatic.
That would bring disorder. It would destabilize everything. We would have chaos, panic. People could get hurt.
Yes, but you actively care if people get hurt. Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, isn't that normal?
All the kings we've seen, even queens, Rachel, don't really care if people get hurt.
Rachel's a special case, but
Correct.
you're right. But what is this coming from?
You are what a king should be. No, not how. Why?
I guess if you twisted my arm, I'd put it to my senior, the king before me. He His name was Spencer. He was a hell of a warrior. I barely managed to make Jack when he was around. You know, Jack is kind of a special piece around the royals. When a Jack needs to be replaced, the queen puts up a potential candidate and the king has to test them. It's not something you can just fight your way into. You have to be voted. I know why the queen chose me at the time. I actually managed to beat her in a fight. I didn't know why he chose me, why he accepted it. Just because I won doesn't mean I had to go in, and there were people at the school who were stronger than me. I just got lucky. But he said to me that being strong isn't anything to do with being a royal. Power doesn't give you the right. Like, might doesn't make right. Might stands for right. And those words stuck with me. I don't know where he is now, but I looked up to him and wanted to be like him. So I try. What's this about?
Unfortunately, I want to tell you I don't know. I want to say this is just one of my spur of the moment things. But ever since the other day, I've been thinking about who I am, who I want to be. A lot of things have been put into perspective. And he sighs. I think I figured out who it is I want to be. And that's why I had to talk to you.
What do you mean?
You're everything we just talked about. You care. You do the strongest thing that I've ever known someone to do. And you risk caring sometimes.
So, what, you just needed inspiration?
I needed to know that, I guess, it wasn't a road that no one's walked before.
Hmm.
I needed to understand that I needed to know that there was someone in front of me that I could follow.
Don't get me wrong. I learned a lot of things from Spencer, but he couldn't teach me how to live my life. My way of protecting this school. When I'm here, I stop fights. When I'm at the battles, you've seen me. I go all out.
But you're all out. Well,
They're intimidating.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Spencer
like when our
never did
Jack
that.
fights, you pull him back. You pull them back. When Rachel fights, you try, but I'm not going to use Rachel in these examples, actually.
My point is, if you're trying to look for somebody If you're trying to be like somebody, you're doing it wrong. Pick and choose the best parts of the people around you and find something in yourself to pull it all together.
He smiles. Okay. He walks to like the edge of the roof and hops on, just stares off. I think it's about time. I think it's about time I stop hiding.
He stops and looks over at you. You realize that means you'll be taking over, right?
He spins with his big stupid smile. Nope, that's too much responsibility. I'm just the ace.
He stops, looks perplexed, and then oh my god, you are never gonna stop getting on my nerves.
No, if that's one of the traits I'm gonna keep.
Well, for what it's worth, I think it's a good one.
With that, he just gives like a 2-finger salute as he just falls back and goes to carry himself off the roof.
Oh boy.
Well, I have to fight Ryoma now. That's great.
Ugh.
We're kind of going past needing to be the ace, to be honest, Chief. We're going right to the terrorism.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but that still means I have to fight you. That's my end goal, remember?
I mean, in the end,
So-
we're gonna have to fight me at some point.
Probably.
I think. So I think that's gonna be where we cap our session for today, unless somebody else has something urgent that needs to be done.
Nope.
All right.
Nope, I'm good.
And I want to ask, are we all okay if this is the last session for this season?
Whoa. Oh, for the season. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good end.
That's a really good ending spot.
Okay.
Roma finally decides to stop hiding in the shadows about himself. That's a big thing for him.
Okay. So, we're going to have a season break, during which time I will be running something else.
Oh.
And
Oh.
we'll figure it
Oh?
out. We'll figure it out.
Ayo.
And
Hmm.
I will hopefully have some time to push this stuff in a different, in a better, more focused direction. But before we leave off,
Mhm.
our end credits play, and at the end of them, we fade in to a little office with a man in a suit sitting in an armchair in front of a laptop. He's typing away.
Oh,
On
no.
his screen are 3 picture profiles. Susie Woolley, Jody Kalich, Ryoma Hart. There's a notepad open to the side that he's typing in. A knock is heard at the door. Come in. The door opens and in walks a finely dressed woman with a clipboard to her side. Director? You have a report waiting. Right. Leave it on my desk. She walks over and sets down a paper or two and looks over at the screen. Still focused on them, sir? What can I say? They're impressive candidates. I've never seen anyone take it this easily, this quickly. Such young people with such bright minds. Do you think they might be the ones? Maybe. Our cohorts on the other end seem to think that we'd have better luck with people like John. They might be right. But still, it's best not to place all our eggs in one basket. And if I were a betting man, I think this horse has a lot of steam left in it. And we cut to black. So, thank you all so much for joining us on this wonderful ride.
But
Oh boy. So once again, I cannot stress this enough. Read Unordinary. There's a lot of things that I'm changing about this story that do not fit the original canon. They do not really relate to the original canon. I am butchering that shit up and down the wall. It's far more consistent. It has great art. Please read the comic. It's fantastic, and it deserves your support.
Unordinary video when?
Maybe someday. Who knows? In the meantime, though, if you want to support somebody else, you can check out some of the links in the description. Vern made the wonderful starting soon, break screen, and ending screen that I use for all of my streams. She's a wonderful artist. She's a wonderful Twitch streamer. She's a VTuber.
I'm really not.
Who made her own goddamn model, and it looks fantastic. Check her out.
Yo, listen.
Link in the description.
I'm just a slut that hangs out with him.
Twitch.tv/Vernadera. You can also follow Salty. Salty occasionally streams, mostly posts wonderful tweets. Please make sure you're over 18 if you're going to follow them.
Please, for the love of God, please.
Highly recommend it. You can find their Twitch in the description below. I hope I linked their Twitter. If I'm not, I'm sure it's in their Twitch profile.
When are we getting Nil's Twitter?
When he starts posting aspects.
Fuck yeah! Nil, come on.
Good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Good night.
Peace.
Good night.